Hey everybody, Lars here. Sitting in the cave this afternoon. I figured I'd bang out the Euler video. Gonna be super quick because look, I brought up the old code that we did last last unit, and when we did unit 2, we really only had loops for us to use. So I did the section here with the loop, and we did that. Well, first thing let's do this. We go to Euler, and we look at the old problem. And you can see we want the sum of squares, then you want the square of the sum, then you want to find the difference between the two. So what we did, I guess I could leave that in the background, is we used loops, and we created a limit of 10, and we went and found the sum of the square, then we went and did the square of the sum, and then we found the difference, okay? I see a problem like this, and I think functions, okay? So I figured we'd rewrite it, but we're going to rewrite it using what we have already, and it's going to be really simple. Watch this. I'm going to say new file, and I'm going to make this my library. So we'll call it my Euler library. And I'm just going to create two functions. Can you guess what they are? Well, first let me save it. Let me save it in unit 3 because that's where we are. And I will call it my Euler lib. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab sum of squares, and I'm going to actually want to grab it, and I want to copy it, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to paste it. But what am I going to do? I'm going to make some changes. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say def sum of squares and rename it, and as a parameter I'm going to take the limit. Then I'm going to make sure everything is indented properly. Instead of a print, I don't want to print, I want to return. So return square. Will that work? Sum of squares 0. I think it will. I think it will, and I don't need that space, so I'll leave that right there. And I'll put a little comment up here. You can comment libraries because people are going to read them. Function for the sum of the squares. Okay. Good. Now, what's the next thing we're going to do? Function for the square of the sum. And what am I going to do? I'm going to grab this code. Copy. Come down here. Grab that. Only now I'm going to write def. I'm going to call it square of the sum. I'm going to take the limit. Do that. I do that. I do that. Alright, and now instead of my print, I return square of sum. I think we're in Fat City. We're going to test it. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that. And then I don't really need this anymore, so I'm going to get rid of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say File, New File. And I will call this I'll say Euler with functions, and I will save this file as unit 3. I'll call it Euler W funcs. And let's just test our things. Well, what do we have to do? Of course, what we have to do is I'm going to import my Euler lib. And then I'm going to print my Euler lib dot so square, and my limit will be 10. Let's print that out and see what we get. Alright, 385 looks familiar to me. all right, let me make sure everything is up here so that we can see it, so we get a nice little display. Actually, I want to put my library over here. I'm going to put my code over here. I can thin this up. All right, and I have my answer over there. So now I come over here. Let's do the other part. My Euler lib dot square of sum. I'll do it for 10. You know we're going to change that, but we're just testing right now. Let's take a look. Hey, 3025. So now we're in Fat City. So we're using the functions that I have in my library. Where's my middle part? Okay? But you know how we roll. We're going to do this all in one line. Well, actually, we're going to do it all in 2 lines. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say limit equals. Is that confusing because it's the variable in the function? Probably not. We'll say we will assign the value 10 to limit, and then I will say find the difference, and I will print the difference is colon space question comma, and then I will say actually I want square of sum. Now I want it for limit and minus. Let's widen this out again. Whoop, what happened? Let's take this and make it wider. There we go. So now we can fit the whole thing in the line. So the difference is comma my Euler lib square sum limit minus. I have limit up there. There we go. And now if I want to do what we did last time, make it 100, run it, I get 251, 64, 50. Hey, that's the answer. 251, 64, 150. Right there. Okay. So, that was the wrong thing to do. Oh, 8 minutes, huh? Fascinating. So there you have it. Okay. We took our Euler stuff. Now, you know, my programming brain says this is a better solution because now I have these in a library. They're functions. I can use them anytime I want to find out any kind of limit. And then over here in my main program, I just used them. I imported my Euler lib, created the limit, and then used the limit right there. So now I only change the one line, and I can perform this particular process for whatever I want. Okay? I'm going to take this code and I'm going to throw it up in Sakai. So you will have it. All right? Not going to kill you with announcements. Be weary. July 6th is approaching. That's the end of Unit 3. July 11th is approaching. That is the midterm. All right? Start thinking groups because I'm going to assign groups if we don't get. Somebody already got in touch with me about groups. So that's a good thing. But start thinking about groups. All right? All right, I'm not going to kill you with announcements because I know over the next couple of days I'm going to do email announcements. It's been like 4 days since I did an announcement, and I'm not used to being so quiet, so I will stop being so quiet. All right? All right, good. Then I'm getting out of here. You be good. Take this code and play around with it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.